Oh, but just wait. His take on the Fantastic Four movie is about to get way more egregious.
Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, the white guy, and he's being played by Pedro Pascal.
Oh, brother, I picked up a real winner here, haven't I? How's it going, everybody? My name is Blackstar, and welcome to the continuation of my previous video talking about this guy. Now, I wasn't expecting the last video to blow up the way it did, but there was a lot of traction on it, so thank you all so much for running it up. However, something that I did notice is that a majority of the people who had watched this video are actually not subscribed. So before we carry on, if you could hit that subscribe button, that would be greatly appreciated. Helps me out in the algorithm. Now then, let's begin. Now I'm sure you've all seen the intro to this video, and don't worry, we will get to that in a moment. But for now, there's another video of his that I would like to discuss. The issue with it is, well, I don't want to get too in-depth with it because a lot of it is nonsensical rambling. There's one little nitpick that I had with it, and it's in a discussion talking about Magneto. Now, he discusses a rumor that Magneto would be played by Denzel Washington in the third Black Panther film. And he goes into it like it's established fact. Take a look. So a bit of a warning, racism ahead.
It's just come to light that this guy was a scumbag for most of his life.
Could ask everyone if they have a favorite Kubrick movie.
I'm not a movie buff. No, I'm not a big movie fan. I was in the street when he was making movies. He was what's the ones in the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be the one outside looking to rob you when you came out of a Kubrick movie. Yeah, I'd be the one outside looking to rob you.
Quick stop here. That's just Denzel telling a joke in an interview, and he's taking it as fact because black people equal dangerous.
Are you familiar with the sort of meme of like how often men think about the Roman Empire? Has anybody been asking you about
No,
this? It was like this thing that like men think about it once a day.
About the Roman Empire?
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't think about it. I was busy. I was acting. I was trying to destroy the Roman Empire.
What?
Once again, a joke he's taking as fact.
So as you can see from what I just showed you, Denzel mightn't have been the greatest guy for all those years, but now he's like the best actor of all time. I don't care for him, and he makes way too many movies that are about how bad white people are.
So what we have here is his usual racism that I already talked about in my last video and I don't want to delve into. Now, I want to deal with the nitpick that I mentioned at the top of this. And that is this.
You want to hear my hot take? I don't really care for Magneto. In recent months, you've had all these X-Men 97 lovers flocking to the character of Magneto, saying that he was right, he was the hero, he's like an awesome character. I don't care for him. He's a villain. I haven't read that much of the character.
Alright, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. You haven't read enough of the character. You don't care about the character. Then why are you yapping other than just racism? And I know I'm someone who really likes Magneto. I have always liked Magneto as a character. People have been saying Magneto was right since his inception. It wasn't just X-Men 97. And you could say, I have a personal stake in talking about him.
Fear Magneto! Fear Magneto! Fear Magneto!
Just a little personal stake in Magneto, I suppose. Now, you are someone who claims to care a lot for comic accuracy, even though you particularly hate the 2022 The Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, even though it's supposed to be an adaptation of Batman Year One, but I digress. X-Men 97 does something very fun that I figured a comic enjoyer like you would enjoy. See, here is the cover of Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, Issue 100, The Trial of Magneto. Now, Here is a scene from X-Men 97 where he's being tried before a global court. Notice something?
I've only seen him in a few stories here and there, but he is not the main guy.
No, he is not the main guy. He's a foil to the main guy because you don't understand storytelling.
He's not the dude I'm going to be looking up to. When you watch the Fox X-Men movies and the very first scene is in a camp and it's showing you Magneto's backstory, I don't care.
You see why I say he shouldn't have opinions on these things, because if you don't care about the main foil to Charles Xavier, then you're not getting the full story. Yes, Magneto's a Holocaust survivor. That is literally what shapes his worldview, and yet you don't care about the motivations of one of the main antagonists who ends up helping the X-Men every so often because he is a complex character. Okay, now we can move away from Magneto and into the main event, so to speak, and that is his egregious take on the new Fantastic Four movie trailer, Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, he has a lot to say, and none of it is nice, but when you open it up talking about the casting like this...
So, the trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps, which is a really stupid name by the way, just dropped. And on the internet we've seen some mixed reactions. Some people are loving it and others are justifiably destroying it. So I'm sorry to come in and rain on your parade, but Fantastic Four First Steps looks like total garbage.
You know, his usual way of introducing something he doesn't like, and from the opening there, you can already tell he's gonna be his usual intellectual heavyweight self, I say with heavy sarcasm. But no, prepare to be disappointed.
Nope, this isn't rage bait. I'm not being a contrarian just for the sake of it. I'm just pointing out what I see. And what I see is a steaming hot pile of trash. So very quickly, let's just get into how this movie will undoubtedly suck. So the first major offense with this movie is the gender swapped Silver Surfer.
So the first major offense that he takes is that it's not Norrin Radd's Silver Surfer. It is a female variant of the Silver Surfer who does exist in alternate realities because alternate universes have long since existed in Marvel continuities, but this is someone who doesn't care about alternate universes and has called them excuses to bring in gender swaps or race swaps. That isn't the main event, though.
That's the key phrase right there. Alternate reality. It's almost like an excuse that these people use to gender swap and race swap every single thing they can get their hands on. It's not for the good of the story or the fact that it is an alternate reality. You're just doing it because you want to. And my response is this. Do not comment. Don't come at me saying, it's an alternate universe. How do you not know that? I know that. I just don't care.
If you don't care, then shut up.
I don't care if it's a super wormhole, alternate, different planet where everybody has to be race swapped and gender swapped. The people who do this aren't doing it for the sake of it's an alternate reality. They're doing it because they're mentally ill psychos in real life. Speaking of which, we see who's directing the movie, Matt Shakman. Now, I haven't heard of him. He probably directed some crappy film, but reportedly he added Julia Garner to the cast. So it was his decision, basically. And just from looking him up on Wikipedia, we do see that he is of a certain religious or ethnic background, and that leads me into our next point. So you have the Thing in this new Fantastic Four movie. He's probably one of the only good looking parts about the film. Yes, it is CGI, but they're getting the look of the Thing way better and way more accurate to the comics. Saying that, that is where the comic accuracy really does stop. So the Thing is a famously Jewish character. So of course, to be accurate, they brought in a Jewish actor to play the role. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, then we get to kind of, you know, the leader of the...
Okay, so anti-Semitism aside, he brings up how a Jewish actor is playing Ben Grimm, a Jewish character, which I don't know if he's praising it or if he's using it as some kind of jumping off point. But now we get into the main event that I talked about, and it was a doozy.
Oh, but just wait. His take on the Fantastic Four movie is about to get way more egregious.
Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, the white guy, and he's being played by Pedro Pascal.
Brother!
Okay, Star, contain yourself. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe he just played the mariachi music for the sake of a meme. Surely he can't be saying that Pedro Pascal is Mexican, right?
It's in his name. Amigo, sorry to break it to you, but you're not Reed Richards. I don't care if you really like the character or if you play him well. You're not him.
Okay, the one time I try to express hope and he goes into this nonsense. Brother, you can say that about anybody. You can say Chris Evans isn't Steve Rogers. You can say Scarlett Johansson isn't Black Widow. It's called acting. They're not real.
So let's just get a quick summary. So the Jewish character is played by the Jewish guy because we're being so accurate. But the normal white guy, Reed Richards, we can't get just any old normal white actor. We have to bring in Pedro Pascal, where everything he touches turns to woke.
Normal white person. Just gonna let that hang in the air. So next he dives into Pedro Pascal having an anxiety disorder that when he's uncomfortable, he clings to friends, which, yeah, if he has anxiety, that's going to be a thing. But he talks about it like this.
You can see Pedro Pascal randomly deciding to latch on to Vanessa Kirby like she's his mother or something. She's in the middle of answering a question, and this weird Mexican guy...
Pedro Pascal literally isn't Mexican. Took me 8 seconds to Google where he's from.
Wearing like a fluffy pink sweater, grabs onto her and just starts holding on for dear life. And it's passed off as some condition, like he has anxiety and he has this and he has... Shut up. Shut up. You're a millionaire who gets to be in Marvel movies and Star Wars movies. Stop complaining. Nobody wants to listen to you talk about your politics or your anxiety conditions. Just shut up and act in the movie, you retard.
Okay, I need to stop you there. A few things here. 1. Anxiety is a real thing that people struggle with. 2. Being a rich, famous person does not negate having anxiety. And 3, you're telling him to just act, but you bear down on him for just acting because you hear a slightly Spanish name and you think Mexican because only people from Mexico can have a name like Pedro Pascal. He's literally Chilean, a white Latino man. It took me 8 seconds to Google where he's from, but you can't seem to do that. I don't understand your thought process, you brain-rot-addled moron! Okay, I really need to call this soon, so let's just end this with some good old-fashioned racism, shall we? I am done talking about this guy.
Oh yeah, and P.S. If Pedro Pascal is playing Mr. Fantastic, I just want to ask, what's he really fantastic at? Cleaning houses or jumping over the border?
Okay, that's just about all I can take of this guy. We're gonna cut it off here. We already got through his main points that are not really points, but I digress. Thank you so much for joining me on this hellish journey. I really enjoyed talking about this kind of thing, believe it or not, even though my slight crash out moment earlier would say otherwise. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a like if you did, really helps me out. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.